Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to Unit Lost. I am Stylosa, and this is the question. How many new heroes a year is enough? Now, this is a very interesting thing because we're almost at the 1 year anniversary of Overwatch, which is May the 24th. So, yeah, we've got like maybe a month to go. Potentially, we might get another hero announced before then. I don't know. I wouldn't hedge your bets on that, guys. But I thought this would be a very interesting topic because I went back to the GameSpot interview and Jeff spoke about a few things there. But before we go into that, let's just take a look at what actually happened. So we got Ana, who was the first new hero to hit Overwatch. This hero, I am in no doubt, is one of the best designed heroes that is in the game. Like, in terms of its kit, in terms of the way it plays, it's very unique. It's a support sniper. It's a very interesting class with complex mechanics, and it's got a very high skill ceiling. Well, I say class, I mean hero. She is awesome. She is really good. I mean, I don't know whether she was an original hero which was designed for the game and it didn't quite get a finish before the actual launch, and so they sort of had to push it back. I don't know, but she is fantastically awesome. And then we fast forward and we go to Sombra. So she came out in November, I believe, just after BlizzCon, and she, again, is a fantastic hero on paper. Also, visually stunning. I mean, this skin here is pretty decent. If I just go back and drop a classic skin on, this is a fantastically designed hero. It looks awesome. The whole idea of this hero is great. And even the way she plays is still pretty good. We're still trying to work out how to use her effectively, but she's still a very complex, a very high skill cap, and a very interesting hero. I mean, if you just quickly go back to, like, I don't know, McCree. If you look at McCree, for example, McCree's not that complex, is he? McCree's extremely basic in what he does. So as a hero, not that flashy. Yeah, he's still fun to play, but he's not like on the level of Ana or Sombra. And then we go to the recent launch, which is Orisa. Now, she is very interesting, Orisa, because she is like a mashup of different heroes. She's not like Sombra, or she's not like Ana, where they were very unique heroes. She's this like bit of everything smashed together, and you could probably argue that she's pretty weak at the moment, which is kind of what Blizzard do. They release the heroes in a weaker state and slowly patch them. She's got a usage. She's pretty good in the in the PvE mode, Uprising, but that's kind of it. So yeah, she's okay. So we're going to get another hero and then another hero. So 2 more heroes maybe this year. I don't know. Well, let's take a look at what Jeff said. I don't have a number in my head. It's funny because when we first came up with the game concept, we had a really huge number in mind. And then we kept shrinking that number, and now we're more evaluating things almost like an evolving process. Each hero that comes out makes us evaluate how much time it should take for the next hero to come out. That's a very interesting fact, actually. You know what? We're just going to drop on that for a second, because that there, I mean, what's that telling you there? If they introduce a new hero and the new hero does something to the way the game is played, like alters the meta in a certain way, maybe that accelerates the next hero to get launched, which, like, did that happen to Orisa? Is the next hero after Orisa being accelerated because Orisa's been added to the game? It's very interesting, isn't it? Anyway, we carry on. I really do feel that we should not be in a mode where we're shooting to have 1 hero a month or something like that. MOBAs need to do that because of the type of gameplay they have and the business model. I think we need to take a step back from hero development in Overwatch and really evaluate what it does to the meta, but also there are some other factors. Now, that's interesting because what he's saying there is we don't want to have a hero every single month, and that's fine, you kind of don't. But the way Overwatch is played is there are a few, if we just go back to looking at the heroes, there are a few core heroes here, which it's going to be very difficult to see these heroes not used unless drastic things happen in the game. And I think the big one, the biggest hero in the game, by size, is Mr. Reinhardt. So he is just Reinhardt. He blocks chokes with his barrier. It's very effective. It's going to be very difficult to see him fall away. His usage is kind of going down a little bit now because Winston is a little bit stronger, but he is still a quintessential hero in this game. He's always going to be powerful unless the maps drastically change. Then you could say, on the other hand, you've got heroes like Torbjorn, or we've got heroes like Symmetra that are only really strong in certain positions, and they always will be like that. They're picks that you'll make on a certain point of a map or on a certain map. You know, that's kind of what they're for. Lucio was also one of these heroes which was in every single game because of the way he was designed. Now he's changed a little bit. I think he's way more powerful. He's much better now than he was before, but he's a bit more difficult to play. You actually have to be good to play Lucio now. You can't just hide in the corner and like heal your team. So he's pretty good. But yeah, like the quintessential heroes, you could say Reinhardt, you could say Soldier 76, very simplistic, just hit scan DPS, you know, same as McCree. Yeah, they're always going to be there. They're always going to be strong heroes. Tracer, particularly strong right now, fast moving flank with a hit scan weapon. You know, Genji is Genji dropped off a little bit when the triple tank came in because he finds it hard against tanks, but when there's no tanks in the game, Genji's always there. You know, so there's a lot of heroes that are used pretty much, you know, they're ubiquitous with the game. Like you could build a team and you could say, we're going to take Reinhardt, we're going to take Ana, we're going to take Lucio, we're going to take McCree, we're going to take Tracer, and we're going to take a Roadhog or something like that. And that team would be okay in almost every single situation. Sure, the enemy could hard counter you, but it's not going to be that ridiculously weak, whereas certain team combinations can be pretty weak. Anyway, Jeff goes on to say a little bit more. One of the factors is our time and attention. The more heroes we add, the less attention we're giving to the existing 24 heroes that are already out there. Then also, I think there's something that's really valuable in player affinity for a hero. That has to do with how the hero looks, the backstory, their relationships with other heroes in the game, and I feel like the more heroes we add, the less we can invest in each hero that already exists. This is very true, and we do see this a lot right now. I mean, you look at Zarya. Zarya is one of the, yeah, I mean, what skins has Zarya actually got? Like nothing, really. She got Champion, she got a variation of that as Weightlifter. She got the, she didn't get Midnight, she got Frosted for the event. For the winter event, and that's kind of it. Like, these are just simple reskins, and also Hanzo as well, but we know Hanzo is going to get new skins. Like, that's the only skin Hanzo's ever got since the game came out. So this is a viable thing what Jeff is saying. If we keep introducing new heroes, it's going to mean less time to develop stuff for the other heroes. And when you look at these heroes here, there are heroes which are in a good state, there are heroes which are in a not great state. Like Junkrat, to me, my favourite hero in the game, so maybe I'm a little bit biased right now. I mean, that's a fantastic skin, but in terms of like the way this character plays, it is the weakest character in the game right now because it's got some use, right? Don't get me wrong, you can use it like maybe First Point Dorado or maybe in like Nepal Sanctum, you could possibly use it, but it's very, very inconsistent with damage, and just the way it is played means it's not as great as straight up picking like, you know, a McCree. And I'm not, well, actually I would say a Pharah instead of a Junkrat because that is way better DPS. Now, if they keep releasing new heroes, it's going to mean less time to actually update these other heroes. Now, we have sort of seen this with Lucio. He got changed, and that was fine. But, you know, what about the skins for the other heroes and all of that stuff? It does make sense. You cannot just keep pumping heroes out and expect all the other heroes to still keep getting love. So that's kind of okay. He then goes on to say, so I would like to see hero development not go any faster than it currently is, and maybe over time even slow down somewhat. I want each hero to feel like a really special event where you're just so excited they fit in, and once they're added, it feels like they were always meant to be there. I don't want to get into a mode where we're like, what's the hero of the week? And they start to homogenize with each other and take away from each other. Which is a very interesting statement, because that's exactly what Orisa really does, to be honest. Orisa is she's just a homogenization of, like, well, Zarya, Winston, you know, like, that's basically what Orisa is. It's pretty, and Ana, I suppose, their ultimate, pretty interesting. But what the most interesting fact there is, he doesn't want hero releases to increase beyond what they have done. And we've had 3 heroes. Possibly we could get 4 heroes in a 12-month period. That's if we get another hero before the 24th of May, which is the 1-year anniversary of Overwatch. If we don't, it looks like they're operating on 3 new heroes a year. Now, the big question is that enough? Do we need more heroes? Like, if I look at the game critically right now, and I look at the heroes that have been added, it took a while for people to work out how to use Ana, but then Ana became not a must pick, but a very strong pick. If you've got a good Ana player on your team, you're going to go far. You look at the other heroes, you look at Sombra and you look at Orisa, and then, like, hardly selected. Like, I don't know what the usage statistics are for the heroes, but I very rarely see these heroes in the games that I play. I see Orisa more than I see Sombra. Sombra seems to cause loads of salt on the team. I don't know why, because Sombra can be used quite effectively. Her EMP is a very strong ability, but you don't really see these heroes that much. Now you could say, well, yes, the other heroes have been out for a long time. You look at your McCrees, you look at your soldiers and all of that, and your Reinhardts. They've been out since the game has launched. Well, so has Winston, and Winston is apparently the least played hero in the game, which shocked me, because Winston is stupidly effective in dive comp. He is the main component of that attack composition, or even defense. You can use dive comp on defense. So it's very interesting. So do I think that 3 heroes is enough a year? Yeah, I kind of think it is. What I'd like to see, though, is more maps being added to the game. We've only got one new map since this year started, and that was Oasis. Now, Oasis is fine, but I'd like to have different maps. I'd also really like to have different game modes. You know, so I wouldn't be so sad if there was only 2 new heroes a year, because the rate these heroes have come out, it doesn't feel like they're coming out too much. It doesn't feel like they're coming out too little. But I honestly think I could just maybe take 2 if they were going to give me more in the way of maybe even PvE events and stuff like that, but more in the way of maps and more in the way of game modes. I think that would make the game more interesting to me, and it would change things up a little bit. But it's down to Blizzard, and it's down to what they decide to do. And like Jeff did speak a little bit about the business model of MOBAs relies on releasing heroes because everybody wants the latest hero. Well, Overwatch is kind of the same thing, but a little bit different, because people want the new skins for their heroes that are constantly released, especially, well, unless you're a Hanzo player, which are constantly released, and you want those things, right? So that's where they're making their money from. They're making their money from the shop, and yeah, so they kind of need to keep bringing heroes out, right? But there'll come a point where there's too many heroes. There'll just be heroes that won't be used. It'll maybe be like Dota. Doesn't Dota? Well, no, not Dota. It's not. That's a bad example. Like Heroes of the Storm. I think that has like that's got over 100 heroes, right? Heroes of the Storm. Pretty sure it has. I'm not sure all of those are used. I don't know. Ladies and gentlemen, let me know what you think about this in the comments below. It's an interesting topic. Do you think 3 heroes is enough? Would you like to see more heroes, or would you like to see less heroes, and maybe the team spend a little bit more time on other stuff? Ladies and gentlemen, I've been Stylosa, and this is Unit Lost. Let me know what you think about the video in the comments below. Like the video if you indeed did like the video. Follow me on Twitter, which is @UnitLostGaming, and I will catch you on the next one. Toodaloo.